This is okay. Om Vishwam Darpana Drishyamana Nagari Tulyannijantargatam Pashyannatmani Mayaya Bahirivodbhutai Yatha Nidraya Yasakshat Kurute Prabodha Samaye Svatmanamevadvayam Tasmai Shri Guru Murtaye Namahidam Shri Dakshinamurtaye Bijasyantarivangkuro Jagadidam Prang Nirvikalpam Punaha Maya Kalpita Deshakal Kalana Vaichitra Chitri Kritam Maya Viva Vidrumbhayat Vimaha Yogi Vayasvechaya Tasmai Shri Guru Murtaye Namahidam Shri Dakshinamurtaye Tasmai Shri Guru Murtaye Namahidam Shri Dakshinamurtaye Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai Om Shanti 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 Sadashivasamarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Bande Guru Paramparam Om Parthaya Pratibodhitam Bhagavata Narayanena Swayam Vyasena Grathitam Purana Munina Madhye Mahabharatam Advaitamritavarshinim Bhagavatim Ashtadashadhyayinim Ambatva manusandadami Bhagavad Gita Vavadveshini. Verse 21. Tetam bhuktva swargalokam vishalam Kshine punye martyalokam vishanti Evam trayi dharma manuprapannaha Gatagatam kama kama labhante. So as I told you, verse 20 to 29, Bhagavan describes two forms of bhakti based on the motive behind the devotion. Devotion to the Lord. There is a motive. There are two types of people who relate to Ishvara with a different motive. One is basically interested in Ishvara not for the sake of Ishvara. One's interest is something else. So one uses Ishvara for gaining that interested thing. That's it. That's called Sakama Bhakti. You are not interested in Ishvara. You let the Ishvara be at his place. But definitely you need his help for some purpose. Definitely. Either to remove certain obstacle which makes you suffer, or you want certain material benefit somewhere. Name, fame, position, whatever, money, whatever. So, those people also employ all religious means. Relate to Ishvara, have a Shraddha, reverence, love. Everything is there. But definitely their devotion is basically Sakama Bhakti. Kama means, as I told you, for any kind of a desire, fulfillment. Kamena sahavartate iti Sakama. So Kamena sahavartate. It is along with some Kama. Approaching Ishvara, surrendering to Ishvara, all for this purpose. So that is one. Another is a Nishkama Bhakti. Nishkama Bhakti means they are not interested in anything else but Ishvara. They are interested only in Ishvara. Very much. Lot of homework they have done. Lot of homework. That what I really seek behind every pursuit is not really I am interested in any pursuit. What I really am interested in, basically freedom from these limitations, freedom from insecurity, etc. And it's very common sense to understand that Ishvara should be the source of security. If Ishvara is not a source of security, then the Ishvara must be insecure. If Ishvara is insecure, then he is not an Ishvara. Ishvara is also a source of joy. Should be. Common sense. If Ishvara is not a source of joy, then Ishvara also must be feeling unhappy. Then it's better not to worship him. He is like me. So Ishvara should be the source of security, joy, peace, etc. Right? Ishvara should not be the source of agitation, naturally. So common sense. And therefore what I am really interested in is they are not objects. No object is called a security in this world. Please tell me any object which is called security, available anywhere in Costco or anywhere. I would like to know. Which is, Swamiji, this is the object. That's called security. It's not. Security equipments are there. But I am asking about security as such. Security equipment, Swamiji, security equipment, security. Need not be, sir. Security equipments doesn't make you secure. That's for sure. Even with all security equipments, one remains insecure. We should know that. In fact, he is more insecure. That's how he has put all this. Yeah, let's not go into that. My point is what I'm really interested, what I value in my life is not an object. Simple. It's not an object. Then there are two things in this world. One is object, other is a subject. Maybe it is centered on me. Maybe the self, maybe the source of security, joy, etc. And you are on an airport and you have a lot of time because flight is delayed, and you went to some bookstore and you find, freedom, the title, Puja Swamiji's books, freedom. Or the problem is you, solution is you, something like that. And you find, or you read some advertisement and you happen to visit this place and you find some Swami talking about all this. Some kind of some punyam, and you come in association and you find what you are really searching in life, what is most important in your life is not there. It is right here. My own notion about myself, error about myself, makes me seeking all this. Perhaps I am like this. Perhaps. It begins with that. Perhaps. What I am really seeking is not anything else. I am seeking myself. That's what it is. And therefore, it's a big thing. That's how Bhagavan said this chapter is a guhyatamam, Rajavidya, Rajaguhyam. It's a top secret. Rajavidya, it's a knowledge, it's a king of all knowledges, which will make you free from all unauspicious thing forever. Anyway, and so this is a Nishkama Bhakti ultimately, where they are seeking moksha. So they are seeking Ishvara. So while they are devoted to Ishvara, then they are pursuing knowledge, self-knowledge, pursuing knowledge of Ishvara for the sake of gaining freedom in life. One loves freedom. Not one has cultivated the desire to be free. You are born with the desire to be free. You love freedom, unconditional freedom. Everyone wants unconditional freedom. No condition. If I make you free with a condition, you don't like that condition. Therefore, that unconditional freedom should be one's nature. What you love should be your nature. Should be your nature. But then if it is my nature, why do I seek? That's what we say. Because of ignorance of yourself. The 10th man has ignorance about himself, that he is a 10th man. Keep searching 10th man outside. Well, so there are two types of problems. One type of problem is basically where the solution lies outside the problem. Another type of problem is where the solution lies within the problem. And we have solved these puzzles, jigsaw puzzle. It remains puzzle, problem, if you are not able to understand it. If you are able to understand it, problem goes away. Solution is right there. So this is what the Shastra says. Sanatana Dharma, Upanishads, all, Bhagavad Gita, Brahma Sutra, all our Vedantic texts say this. What you are seeking in life is what you are. That's what the thing is. That's what you are seeking in life is what you are. That's how it is. That is why if you miss that, you remain seeker, life after life. Seeker. Seeker of same thing. Person starts seeking security somewhere else, seeking joy somewhere else, seeking peace somewhere else, remain seeker even on the deathbed. remain seeker. Bhagavan is very, Bhagavan is very, very kind, compassionate. Better luck, beta, next time. Okay. Again gives birth. This is called samsara. A life of becoming and becoming and becoming. It never ends. It never ends. That's how I told you it's a play of a ladder and snake. Ladder and snake. You rise somewhere, a snake is always ready to gulp you down. So this is what it is. So there are people who have done this purushartha, viveka, etc., and they understood. The problem lies, this is a genuine desire. And the solution doesn't lie somewhere. Solution lies right here. So here, but in verse 21, Bhagavan talks about the sakama bhaktas and their plight, etc. So what happens? Evam trayi dharmam anuprapannaha. These people basically who follow the rituals enjoined by the Vedas, and definitely kama kamaha. Kaman kamayanti iti kama kamaha. They desire various desirable objects, naturally. They varieties of the things they are seeking in life, and they have a shraddha, they perform various karmas. Here it is with respect to Vedic karmas, naturally. But same thing applies to our worldly actions also. Same thing applies. But the rule is one. When the karma comes, karma phala will be impermanent. It cannot fulfill your promise of giving you a total joy or total security or total peace, because karma phala being what it is born of karma. Karma is always, all the factors which govern the karma's action are well limited. So karma phala which is produced is also limited. Simple law, like a scientific law. So whether it's a worldly action or it's a religious action, ritual, etc., result will be like this. That's what Bhagavan said, Kshine Punye Martyalokam Vishanti. They did this yaga called Soma Yaga, very big yaga in fact, it's a very big yaga. And they did it, and they earned punyam, they went to Swarga, but then Kshine Punye, when the punyam is over, get exhausted, they find themselves in the same world. So they basically enter into the world from where they wanted to escape. That's what they enter, back to square one. This is what is happening. So therefore, this Sakam Bhakti has been criticized. In order to ultimately, you also will develop a certain Viveka and Vairagya in life, so that, and so Shastra takes you to a corner from where you see nothing but a desire for, you will have nothing but a desire for moksha. That's what the thing is. And those people, basically, so kama kamaha labhante, swarga, etc., they gain it. Swarga, we may think, I'm not interested in swarga, I don't bother, I don't care for swarga. But I'm telling you, we are definitely interested in objects of enjoyment which are better than what we have. That's called swarga. We are always interested. Our struggle is this, what I am having right now, because boredom is not lying anywhere else. Boredom is with oneself, actually. Really. Boredom is with oneself, and therefore nothing in this world can remove my boredom. Nothing. Even Bhagavan comes and stays with you, you will say, please have a space. Give me some space now. Be in your space. Now I'm giving you a room and you be there. But give me some space. Nothing. A person gets tired with every blessed thing in this world. Every blessed things. The most desirable things in our home right now, once upon a time we desired a lot, struggled a lot to gain it. Now it's all lying. We don't bother also. Why? It's exactly like a child. His child is crying and you give a toy. And he picks up a toy, for a moment it stops crying. And then throws and again starts crying. You give another toy. He stops crying for a moment. Again throws and starts crying. This is what it is. Human heart is always crying. Always crying. Not comfortable with oneself. That's called sorrow. This is called sorrow. Sorrow need not be very positively some emotion in mind. A general dissatisfaction with oneself. A general non-acceptance of oneself. That is there. That is there. And therefore, well, in order to get rid of that, understanding the self is the self of everything, self of Ishvara, well, one definitely becomes free from this self-loath, self-dissatisfaction, uneasiness centered on self, one forever. So these people basically, those who have gained gained Swarga, etc., and they return, Gata Gatam Labhante, well, they gain Gatam. Gatam means they go, and Agatam, coming, they go and they come back. That's what their gain is. So it's because they went, they came back. Gata Gatam, we call it as a up-down. In India, there are trains. So, which, like Delhi, Dehradun, suppose. So, the train which goes from Delhi to Dehradun, it's called up. Some number will be there. 2203 up, Delhi Dehradun Express. People travel there, commute in that. So, they got down somewhere for the job, morning they go, and evening the same train returns from Dehradun to Delhi. So, it's called down. So, 2204 down, Dehradun Delhi Express. And so, they return. We call up and down. It's exactly like this. You go to Swarga, it's up, and you come down. That's what Bhagavan says. Gata gatam, gatam cha agatam cha, gata gatam labhante. They gain like this. Samsara. This is what it is. This is samsara. And once you enjoy certain things, and then you know your height that you can get this kind of a thing. And if you fall, you can understand what a tragedy it would be. Right? Suppose you are having a certain comfort in your home, etc., and you are put in a certain situation where total discomfort is there, you feel really a tragedy in the life. That kind of a thing is. So you go to Swarga and enjoy all kinds of things, pleasures. Vishalam Swargalokam, Bhagavan says, vastness of the Swarga. My God, in terms of longevity, in terms of pleasures, in terms of all kinds of things. And you suddenly come back here with all mosquitoes and viruses and all whatnot. Every third day some new virus comes up and there is always some issue. My point is all limitations and constant change. Life of change. Nobody wants, really speaking. If my body is changing, losing hair, I don't like it. I'm getting, you change body from youth to become, towards old age, I don't like it. In relationship, well, people keep changing their moods. I don't like it. But this is what this world is. The characteristic of this world is change. That's called Martyaloka. Constant change. Change, 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 change. And you are seeking something which is changeless. One is really seeking something changeless. In fact, you want one person in your life which doesn't change. Does not change means change your opinion about yourself, does not change mood, etc. Does not change anything. You want one person, one infallible thing in the world you want. Actually, anyway. So Bhashyakara says, Natu swatantram kvachid labhante. They remain under the spell of this same karma, etc. Helpless, right? Once a desire arises, one becomes helpless. You have to fulfill desire. So desire governs you. You don't govern the desire. So basically, one is in the hands of karma, and then to fulfill, definitely you should do karma. And so impelled by your own desire again and again, well, people do varieties of the things. And punya karma, well, because of that you gain some loka also. From there also you return. So you gain janma, you do karma. Because of karma, you gain janma. When you gain janma, you do karma. then because of karma, you gain janma. This is what it is. This is samsara. This is called samsara. Samsara means samyak sarati iti samsara. One slides down without obstruction. And that is called birth, death, slide down. No obstruction at all. Because there is nothing which can obstruct it. And only thing which obstructs is this knowledge of self, where one realizes oneself, one knows oneself as free from birth and death. That's it. An individual doesn't remain to take birth again. That's it. That is the thing. When you understand that you are free from birth and death, then you are no more an individual who is subject to birth and death. Over. And that possibility is there in human life. But these people have missed it. That's how Bhagavan says. Sakama bhaktas. Bhagavan says, what? Because they are my bhaktas, I have to fulfill their desires. And I am fulfilled, definitely fulfilled. But compared to those nishkama bhaktas, definitely, where they seek me, nothing else. Other than me, they don't seek anything else. So all this because they have not recognized the truth of themselves. As long as one looks upon oneself as a doer, well, definitely one does everything necessary for samsara to continue. So doership is a villain of the piece, actually. Anyway. So, and this is verse 21, okay? Then Shankaracharya ji introduces the next verse, 22nd, as being about, the other person who is Nishkama Bhakta, and definitely who is free from desires and have a clear vision of a Atma. So, and these are the people who are not committed to these three pursuits, our common pursuits, Dharma, Artha and Kama. In fact, in Dharma, Artha, Kama also, the pursuit of Dharma is very less, right? Less common compared to Artha and Kama. Most of the people are interested in Artha and Kama only. Pursuit of Dharma means pursuit of gaining punyam, doing positively something which, because of which I earn punyam. Those people are very less. Because most of the people do not have even Shraddha. There is something called punyam, etc. Therefore, people are only interested in Artha and Kama, objects of security and pleasure, nothing more than that. So, but few people, definitely people who are exposed to this or some background, because of that, well, you have a Shraddha in the Shastra, and Shastra talks about this punyam, etc. So, therefore, that purpose, you do certain positively some karmas, which makes you earn punyam, basically. And definitely pursuit of moksha will be least. Even though everyone desires freedom, but positively pursuing moksha through knowledge, etc., very rare. That's how you only 20, 30 people very time. So, because this is how it is. Pursuit of dharma, earning punyam, visiting temples, etc., well, you will find little more compared to the students. Pursuit of artha and kama, oh my God. Everyone is running here and there for these two. So, out of these three pursuits also, the pursuit of dharma is less common compared to artha and kama. Now, if you include moksha, pursuit of moksha is even least common compared to other three. So, these people are very rare, which Bhagavan is going to describe in verse 22. Ananyāścintayanto māṁ ye janāః paryupāsate teshāṃ nityabhiyuktānāṃ yogakshemam vahamyaham. Very famous verse, right? Often quoted verse. And it has an important location also. It's about the middle of the 9th chapter. And 9th chapter happens to be in the middle of the 18th chapter, right? So this is how it is. It's not, we should not think too much. I'm just saying like that. Swamiji is saying this, for this must be a particular reason. But this is how it is. It has just happened that way. And this verse can be taken in two ways. As a description of a jnani, a wise person, or our jignasu, bhakta, whose approach ultimately is towards his goal, that is Ishvara, or knowledge of Ishvara. Shankaracharya ji takes it, this verse as in Bhashyam, he takes it as a description of a jnani, based on the words ye ananyaha. So ananyaha, well, which he says is meant to distinguish these people from the ones Bhagavan described in previous two verses. Sakam Bhaktas, verse 20 and verse 21, describes the people who are performing rituals and they have a desire to go to Swarga, etc. Compared to those, these are distinct people, ananyaha. And as such, meaning of ananya means na anyaha. Means they don't look upon Ishvara as separate from themselves. So those who, ananyas are those who are not separate from me, Bhagavan says. They are not separate from me. If we really look into that, we feel a question here. So if Ananyas, Bhagavan says, those are the people who are not separate from me, then there are people who are separate from me, right? These are the people who are not separate from me. Then there are other people who are separate from me. Because Bhagavan distinguishes these people who are non-separate from him. Therefore, there are other people who are separate from him. That could not be. When Bhagavan said, Masthani Sarva Bhutani, where all the beings are in me, all have an existence in me, they are all objects of knowledge because of me, because I consciousness pervade them. Therefore, everything is non-separate from me. When Bhagavan has already told in this chapter itself, Bhagavan is not looking upon like this. Ananya does not mean those who are non-separate from me, and there are people who are separate from me. No. That kind of division is not there. Ananyas means those who do not look upon me as a other than themselves, and there are people who look upon Ishvara as another being from themselves. Look upon Ishvara as a another being. Not that there are two types of people who are, some are separate from Ishvara, some are non-separate from Ishvara. People look upon Ishvara as non-separate from oneself, they are Ananyaha. And people who look upon Ishvara as another being, separate from oneself, they are definitely ignorant people. These people are knowledgeable people. That's what he means. So, and how is this possible? Individual is an individual. If you ask anyone, you will say, I am different, Ishvara is different. Or I am different. Ishvara, suppose you know Ishvara is total. Swamiji, I am different, I am small, he is all. So therefore, how is this possible? Ananyatvam, how it is possible? How can then they be non-separate from Lord? And Shankaracharya ji explains all that, and it says it is possible due to the fact that Lord is the self of all. Lord is the cause of everything, and therefore cause pervades effect. Otherwise also Lord is a Atma of everything. Lord is basically pervades everything, and being all pervading pervades every jiva, and therefore every jiva is a non-separate from Ishvara alone. So naturally those who recognize the Atma as Parameshvara are non-separate from Parameshvara. So this is how it is. There is one self which pervades, one consciousness which pervades all. That's it. That consciousness manifests in different minds becomes jiva. They are called jivas. That's it, nothing else. Jiva is not really an entity. Jiva and Ishvara are two entities, two beings. No. One consciousness alone, well, definitely, which is Brahman, which is the basis for everything, basis for even mind, basis for the body, basis for the entire creation. And then in every mind, that same consciousness, Brahman, manifests. And the mind becomes conscious, well, and then ahamvritti arises, ahankara arises. That's called jiva. That's it, nothing else. So that is basically a reflected consciousness. And therefore there is really not a jiva, a one entity, and Ishvara is another entity. That is how. So these jignasus understand this, basically. All the wise people to have a clarity that Ishvara is not separate from me. So it is because of the word Ananya, well, Shankaracharya has said in his introduction that these are the people of clear vision. Bhashyakara says Ananyaha, he translated it as a Samyak Darshi. Samyak Darshi means who have a clear vision of this oneness. He is called Samyak Darshi. So the others are also non-separate from Ishvara, but they do not recognize this. The only difference between Samyak Darshi and others is recognition or non-recognition. The difference is difference in terms of ignorance and knowledge. That's it. But it's a vast difference. It's a vast difference. You take yourself as an individual, a jiva, and then suffer whole life. Because there are physical limitations, there are intellectual limitations, emotional limitations, all limitations, sensory limitations, all limitations. Because you have identified with a given body, mind, sense complex, even though you are a consciousness, limitless consciousness, you identified with one body, mind, sense complex, and then the limitations of the body, mind, sense complex as though becomes your limitations. It's an error. It's an error. You are Brahman. That's what Vedanta teaches. Tattvamasi, etc. You are Brahman, not that you will be Brahman. You are Brahman. But one takes oneself to be a limited being. Anyway, so these people recognize, even these Jignasus also, this Ananya people also recognize Ahankara as Parmeshwara. That's how there is a very beautiful a Sanskrit, not a proverb, but a Sanskrit saying. Yatra yatra manomadiyam tatra tatra tavapada pankajam. Means, wherever my mind is, there indeed your lotus feet is. Wherever my mind is, wherever Ahankara is. Ahankara means a mind. Mind which is conscious has this I thought. It's a Ishvara's arrangement. Because the body does, you see, our body does lot of function. Pranas do all function, right? Several functions are, our senses are doing lot of function. Seeing, hearing, all this is going on. Mind also perceives, imagines, emotes, all these functions are going on. When all these activities are going on, who is a subject? There should be a subject. When some action is happening, I will ask who is doing that. Therefore, well, that's how there is a aham vritti in our mind, ahankara, which is called karta. So mind which is conscious due to the presence of consciousness, due to reflected consciousness, mind is conscious, then I thought arises. And that I thought, ahankara, owns up everything. Mind emotes, it says I am emoting, I am loving, I am angry, etc. When I see, he says I see. I see, well, what I say? I see, I hear, etc. This is called ahankara. There should be a subject who owns up the activity. That's called subject. Simply mithya thing. Mind is mithya. The reflected consciousness is mithya. Therefore, conscious mind is mithya. Ahankara is mithya. Jiva is mithya. The doership is mithya. Swamiji, what is mithya? Mithya means it doesn't exist on its own. Because of consciousness, everything exists. And that consciousness, limitless consciousness, that's my real nature. Not knowing it, this conscious being, the conscious mind, I take it as myself. So I take it myself as a jiva, individual, karta, bhokta, etc. But Swamiji, it must be my nature. If it is your nature, it will be there all the time, being reality. But it's not. It's not. When you sleep, where is the doership? Huh? When mind resolves, doership resolves. Means this doership, experiencership or enjoyership, all that sense of individuality, all belong to what? Mind. Because in deep sleep, I am there. I am very much there. But individuality is not there. That reveals this jivatvam is mithya. But not knowing it, I take it as real. I think I am an individual. I am a doer. I am this, I am that. Whatever mind does, I say I do. Mind emotes, mind shows anger, I am angry. Mind shows compassion, I am compassionate, etc., etc. All own up. There is a Ishvara's arrangement that there should be a owner, but what's its reality I should know. Which comes and goes cannot be me. Which leaves behind me and goes away is really not me. If heat goes away from the water, definitely heat is not the nature of water. That much we know. Heat does not leave, heat never leaves fire. Well, then heat is the nature of fire. But this doership, sense of individuality, this, right, etc., goes away. When you sleep, goes away. Still, you are very much there. Was there in a waking, was there in a dreaming, well, and when you are sleeping, you are there. That I is a real I. That's the basis. That is this consciousness. Sakshi we call generally. Anyway, so, yatra yatra manomadiyam tatra tatra tava pada pankajam. Wherever my mind is, wherever my ahankara is, means there indeed. Wherever I am, there your lotus feet is there. You are the basis. Yatra yatra manoyati tatra tatra samadhaya hai. Wherever the mind goes, there indeed it is samadhi. Samadhi means recognizing Ishvara. Anyway, so these people, ananyaha, all the time, they are in a process, like us, all the time in a process of recognizing I am non-separate from Ishvara. And there are people, fortunately, they have gained this clarity. They are called wise people. They are also called ananyaha. Both are ananyaha. Wise people are also ananyaha, or the people who are in a process right now in gaining this clarity of oneness, they are also ananyaha. Because all the time they are in a process of this. And what they do, mam chintayantaha, Bhagavan says, recognizing me or inquiring into me. Wise people have already recognized me, and therefore they have gained as though me. And the jignasus, well, basically, they are inquiring into me through exposure to the teaching, shravanam, mananam, nididhyasam. They are inquiring into me. And they also will, mam paryupasate, they are also seeking me. Tesham, Bhagavan says, for them, nityabhiyuktanam, who are non-separate from me at any time, yoga kshemam vahami, I take care of their yoga and kshema. This one of the most popular statement of the Gita, yoga kshemam vahami aham. What is yoga kshema? Let us see. Kshema is retaining or protecting what you have acquired. So in Sanskritam they define kshema as a praptasya rakshanam. Praptam, gained. But once you gain, since it is desirable, you want to protect it. That's called kshema. In those days, I remember, even I have seen in childhood, they used to, the emails and WhatsApps and all were not there. So they used to send any message through our letter, postcard. And they used to write on that, kshemam. Kshemam. They used to write kshemam. Kshemam means you read it, no problem. There is no bad news. Means protection. So if it is not kshemam is not written, they sometimes write ashubham. Means some news of a death of somebody. What I have seen, my mother, because from the ashubham, she reads ashubham. Then she will not read further. Then while taking bath, she tells me from the door, near, now tell me the name of the person. And then once I tell the name, then she takes bath immediately. So this is what it is. So kshemam means basically, good news. Praptasya rakshanam, desirable. Retaining what is desirable, naturally. Everyone loves our relatives that they should be there all the time. Anyway, so retention here we should clarify. Praptasya rakshanam means retention. Retention here means is always of what is desirable, what you want, that you want to retain also. Retaining extra weight, that is not kshemam. That you want to get rid of, so that is not kshemam. So retaining youth, definitely, that is there. But retaining extra weight, no, I don't want. I want to lose today itself. Yeah. Then yoga. What is the meaning of yoga? Means also several meanings, like dharmam I told you. One meaning of yoga is the topic. Arjuna Vishada Yoga, Sankhya Yoga, Karma Yoga, right? Topics. That's called topic. Each chapter is called, that's called topic. That is there, then there are other meanings also. But here yoga means apraptasya praptihi. So apraptasya prapanam. So yoga means basically to gain what is desirable to you. Kshema means retained what is you have gained. That's called kshema. But yoga means gaining something which you desire. And if we look at our life, all our concerns come under only one of these two at any moment. What is it that bothers you? If somebody asks a question, you can tell this, that one of the things bothers me, either yoga or kshema. It will either be about something you want, yoga, or something you are, you are afraid to lose, so you want to retain, kshema. So you have no peace, I want to gain peace, yoga. You don't have enough money, I want to gain that, yoga. You don't have a vehicle, I want to have it, yoga. And you don't have a certain position in a company, in an organization, you want to have it, yoga. You want to have some name, fame, etc. You don't have it right now, you want to have it, yes, yoga. And that is, second thing is what? You are losing, you want to retain it, What? Hair. Right? I'm talking about my example, don't worry. You're all the time in a process. People, even our women also, they always, comb the hair and then they see. Are they really losing? The big concern. Our concerns or botherations are either of these two only. Bhagavan says, don't worry about it. I am the one who take care of it. It's a big thing, very big thing. So, our health, etc., or even job, position, beauty, all these things, suppose we have, we want to retain it, we don't want to lose. That's called kshema. So, yoga and kshema indicates a lot about the life of jiva, And if it is taken care of, I think everything is taken care of. And Bhagavan's promise, this is a promise of Ishvara. Yoga kshemam vahami. Basically, I am the one who takes care. Vahami means takes care. I am the one who takes care of. These people, not only these people, the question will come, it is for all the people, in fact. So, Lord says, Nitya abhiyuktanam yoga kshemam vahami. I take care of the yoga kshema for those who are non-separate from me. Then Shankaracharya ji raises immediately a question. See, even other bhaktas also get the yoga kshema. I mean, their yoga kshema also are taken care of by Bhagavan. He is an object of their prayers also, because everyone knows he is a karma phala data. And therefore, why you talk about this ananyas? Those who are in a process of recognizing Ishvara is non-separate from me, I am the self of Ishvara, Ishvara is the self of me. Well, only for those only he takes care of yoga kshema. We don't see, because a lot of other people also, most of the people are getting, and their yoga kshemas are taken care of by Ishvara. They are also devotees. So you should not say, Bhagavan should not say, Bhagavan is partial as though. Ananyas chintayanto mam ye janah paripasate tesham nityabhiyuktanam yoga kshemim vaha. Why? Why like this? So Shankaracharya ji asked this question. Well, we say it is true that Bhagavan takes care of the others, but there is a difference with these people. Other people's yoga kshema also are taken care of by him only, being karma phala data. And these people's also yoga kshemas are taken care of by him, naturally. But there is a difference. What is the difference? The difference is this. The object of a devotee's prayer is not Ishvara, in case of the other people. Object of, they are also devotee, but the object of that devotee's prayer is not Ishvara. Object of devotee's prayer is a desirable object, any desirable object. So these people basically pray, that's here itself it has been shown, these people pray and offer rituals to Ishvara for a what? For gaining Ishvara? No, gaining Swarga. So heaven is a desire object, not the Lord. So basically, so there are bhaktas who uses Ishvara as a means for gaining certain end. And these ananyas are the people, bhaktas, for them Ishvara is the end. That's the difference. For these people, so this is, there are three levels of bhakti. I mean, this is, I am not going in there. But where you use Ishvara as a means for achieving certain other end, worldly end, then your devotion is very inferior. So Ishvara is a means. They use Ishvara for gaining certain other. They wish to use him to get what they want, in fact. That's what it is. So that's the difference between them. What can you do? At one point, you exhaust your efforts, I tell you. And if you are astika, I have to go to a place where there is an entity who is a Sarvagnya, Sarvashakti, and who is a Karma Phaladata. Let me pray, and please him in order to gain what I want in my life. Anyway, so whereas these people are what? Chintayantaha mam, they are inquiring into me. Mam paripasate, they are seeking me, Bhagavan says. So this mumukshu or a jignasu who wants a moksha, and he also prays to Lord, but his object of prayer is Ishvara alone, not some desirable object. So anyway, So therefore, after finding Ishvara, what does he want? This person? No, he doesn't want anything. Life is fulfilled, etc. So they mumukshus, they don't look upon Ishvara as really separate from themselves. There is a sense of separation for a time being, they know. They know, it's in terms of ignorance, and to resolve that, well, they are constantly inquiring into the Swarupa of Ishvara, through Shravanam, Mananam, etc. Self-inquiry, yeah. Constantly exposing themselves to teaching and resolving the doubts also. When you are exposed to this teaching, definitely you will know. But knowledge occurs immediately. Knowledge is not gradual. Clarity is a gradual thing. We should know this. When I describe, I don't have a time, but within 15 minutes I can right now, I'm telling you with all humility that I can prove you that you are limitless consciousness. 15 minutes, not even 15 minutes. And you will be convinced. So in your mind also this will occur. As I go step by step, you will say, yes, I am limitless consciousness. But as you get up and walk, you feel I am an individual jiva, etc. immediately. That shows knowledge occurs. Knowledge is not gradual. Clarity in the knowledge is gradual. Because I keep creating doubts. Those doubts basically, pushes away the knowledge. So once your knowledge becomes free from the doubt, clarity comes, then it won't go. So these people, these jnanasus, are in the process of gaining clarity. By Shravan Mananam, Nididhyasana, etc. So they are Ananya. Shankaracharya says they are Ananyadarshi, these wise people who do not. Yogakshemam Vahami, Bhagavan says, naturally, these people they don't care whether they are alive or dead. They are not even anxious also about looking after themselves, nor they are afraid of also what will happen to them. They are with Bhagavan and have no concern basically for their Yogakshema. Their attitude is whatever happens, happens. That's their attitude. So everything, even their desires in the hand of a prarabdha karma, they look upon every situation as a Ishvara, naturally. A situation in my life is a manifestation of Ishvara. This is how they are non-separate. Not that Ishvara is somewhere else and he is giving me this situation as per my prarabdha. No. Every situation, they see it recognize it as a non-separate from Ishvara. That's how Ananyaha. And so, whereas ordinary bhakta is deeply concerned about his yogakshema, he has concern because he has a doership. And centered on that, his entire effort ultimately is for yogakshema. And definitely, in spite of all one's effort, he will not be able to get everything. So, he cannot gain everything, and he cannot retain whatever he has gained. So, he looks for help. And where he goes? To Ishvara. So this is also, a ordinary bhakta is like this. Anyway. And sannyasis also are bhaktas. Definitely they are in a pursuit of knowledge. They also give up everything. And they do not count upon, being taken care of by society. Of course society takes care of it. But sannyasis, they really count on Ishvara. Yeah. Ishvara definitely takes care of their yogakshema also. So yogakshema of the wise are taken care of Bhagavan, then the seeker's bhakti will be free from basically concerns of the yogakshema. Then what is the concern of the jignasus? Concern of jignasu is basically that whatever the knowledge they have gained, that they want to protect. They want to gain knowledge, yoga, and they want to protect the knowledge which is gained. That is the kshema. Yeah. So, other bhaktas and jignasu bhaktas, there is a big difference. Perhaps they may have a little bit concern. Their concern is for knowledge, gaining knowledge, yoga, and protecting knowledge which has been gained. Whereas other bhaktas have their yogakshema is with respect to worldly things. So anyway. And why other things, they don't bother jignasus? Because they know Ishvara will take care of him. So this is expressed by aham yogakshemam vahami. It's a very big statement, very big promise given by Ishvara that if those who are on this path, definitely they need not worry. All arrangements are done. Means to sustain life and other things done by Ishvara. Even obstacles comes in the way, they get resolved, being he is a karma phaladata. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.